The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is still hailed as one of the best video games of all time. On Metacritic, it's the number one ranked game of all time. But why is that? Why is Ocarina of Time so special? Well, there's a few reasons. First, the release time. It was the mid to late 1990s, and Super Mario 64 had just broken into the 3D world for video games. This was revolutionary at the time, and the N64 was pushing sales hard thanks to the release of Super Mario 64. People saw how 3D video games changed the gaming landscape, and people started realizing that video games could be much more than just a simple pastime. It could be considered a genuine form of art. Super Mario 64, as good as it was, some levels felt shallow, and the story wasn't the most cohesive thing. So the Legend of Zelda team was tasked to make a great story and a game that improved upon the mechanics that Super Mario 64 introduced. So they started making the Z targeting, basically where you can lock onto one enemy and move around them. Nowadays it seems like basic practice, but back then this was the first game that did it, and nowadays you can see how games took inspiration from The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time had a lot of pressure on itself, mainly because it had to surpass what Super Mario 64 did and had to push sales for The Legend of Zelda series. And that they successfully managed to do. They managed to make a great game with a great story and with great game mechanics. The story of Ocarina of Time is a simple coming-of-age story. A boy who was forced to bear the pressure of saving the world at the age of 10 and then having his childhood ripped away from him once he pulls the Master Sword out for the sake of the kingdom and the world. This story is layered with hidden symbolisms and excellent writing choices throughout the game that players can notice. This in-depth story and emotional impact on the viewers made Ocarina of Time a standout amongst other video games released back in 1998. This game was highly praised for its story, excellent graphics for a time, and the new improved Z targeting system. Back then, not many games were released. Back then, gaming wasn't seen as such an important or a serious form of art. Ocarina of Time was one of the games that put the video game genre on the map. It made gaming seem like a genuine form of art that could compete with other mediums like books and movies and TV shows. Ocarina of Time is one of the main reasons why video games are taken so seriously and why video games is looked on so heavily. Now, Game Awards seem to have more viewers than the Oscars, and that can all be traced back to Ocarina of Time, showing the world what video games are capable of. This game wasn't just another game. This was a huge stepping stone for the gaming genre. With the recent announcement of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake releasing in fall of this year, many people have begun to wonder, how will this game improve upon the original? Will Ocarina of Time still be the best game of all time? Will this remake achieve the same 99 out of 100 rating the original did on Metacritic? Or will this game flop? Many people have been starting to wonder what made the original Ocarina of Time special. And here I've just answered it. It was an amazing story, the innovating gameplay mechanics, and the huge open world known as Hyrule Field and the other smaller areas like Dead Mountain, Zora's Domain, and Kakariko Village that made the game feel so unbelievable and made it feel so advanced for a time. So that's why I feel like the original Ocarina of Time is so beloved by fans and critics.